Something very big is happening right now, and almost nobody is talking about it. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or even just barely getting by on a fixed income, this could be one of the most important updates of the entire year. Behind closed doors in Washington, there are two major stimulus proposals quietly gaining traction, and they're both timed around one thing: crisis. But here's the twist: these aren't your typical stimulus checks like we saw back in 2020 or 2021. These are conditional, stealth mode relief packages being crafted in a way that most people won't even notice until they either miss out or get a surprise deposit in their account. And I promise, in the next few minutes, you'll know exactly what's in the works, who could benefit the most, and when you should be watching your mailbox or your bank balance. What you are about to hear is especially important if you are a retiree, someone living with a disability, a survivor benefit recipient, a low income household, or just someone who's tired of being left out of the conversations in Congress. Because this time, the focus is shifting, not just to the economy, but to the people who feel it first when the economy turns. And that means you. By the end of this video, you'll know what lawmakers are doing right now, what could be heading your way, and why the next few months are more critical than any point in the last 4 years. Let's start with what we know for sure. Lawmakers on both sides have been preparing reconciliation legislation. That means they can pass a bill with a simple majority, no filibuster, no 60 votes. And historically, this is exactly how every major stimulus has been passed when things get tight. In fact, the three biggest stimulus check packages in the past 15 years all came through reconciliation. And that's exactly what's on the table again. Sources close to the budget committees have confirmed that drafts of two separate stimulus bills are already in progress. One is focused on emergency economic relief, and the other is tied to rising healthcare costs, particularly Medicare Part B premiums. Now, let's talk about timing, because that's everything here. The window we're looking at is extremely specific: late August through mid September for drafting, and late September through October for possible passage, especially if certain trigger conditions are met. What are those conditions? This is where it gets even more real. Number one is unemployment. If jobless claims spike again past 375,000 per week, it triggers what's called a recessionary pressure clause, which lawmakers can use to justify stimulus. Number two is inflation, specifically food and medical inflation. If those exceed a combined year over year rate of 6%, that's a second green light. Number three is the market. If the S&P 500 falls more than 12% over a 30-day period, that's the third trigger. Any one of those three could move this stimulus from draft to reality. Now, why is this all happening now? Because election season is heating up fast, and the economy isn't stabilizing the way some had hoped. Gas prices are up, food prices remain unpredictable, and the new Medicare Part B projections just came in. The estimate for 2026 is a sharp jump, possibly up to $190 per month for seniors. That's a serious cost for people who are already living on fixed benefits. And that's exactly why one of the new proposals includes either a direct rebate to cover that premium increase or an automatic monthly benefit boost of between $60 and $100 for seniors receiving Social Security or SSDI. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The second bill, the one tied to broader economic relief, includes a sliding scale stimulus, meaning the amount people receive would depend on both income level and economic stress in their area. For example, if you're a single filer earning less than $25,000 per year and living in a state with high inflation, you could qualify for a full $600 check. If you're a household earning under $40,000 jointly, the range is between $400 and $700 depending on location and other variables. For low income seniors and SSI recipients, the check would be automatic, no application required, and based entirely on your current benefit level. Here's the part that most people miss: these stimulus payments won't be called stimulus payments. The language being used includes terms like economic relief rebate, inflation hardship adjustment, and Medicare premium offset. It's a clever way to rebrand stimulus and avoid triggering political backlash. But at the end of the day, it means cash or direct deposits that go straight to the people who need it most. And yes, the White House is very much involved. The president has signaled that he would sign either bill if it meets the criteria laid out by his economic team. And there's already been internal communication with the Social Security Administration and the Treasury Department to prepare for possible direct deposit infrastructure, just in case things move quickly. You might be wondering, how likely is this really? Let me be completely honest. These bills are not guaranteed to pass, but the fact that they're already being drafted tells us something. Lawmakers are preparing for what could happen if the economy doesn't hold. And let's be real, many people don't feel like things are holding now. If we hit just one of the trigger conditions I mentioned earlier, inflation, unemployment, or market loss, it becomes far more likely that one or both bills will pass. So, what should you do now? Number one, stay informed. These updates can happen fast, and the language used in these bills can be confusing. That's why I'm here, to break it all down clearly. Number two, check your eligibility. If you receive SSI, SSDI, Social Security retirement, spousal, or survivor's benefits, or if you're part of a low income household, odds are high that you'll be included if either bill passes. Number three, don't listen to the hype. You'll see headlines claiming checks are coming tomorrow or massive giveaways are happening. That's not how this works. This is a slow moving but very real process, and the people who pay attention will be the ones who benefit. This is your reminder that everything I just told you is current as of today, but yes, things can still change. If inflation calms down or the job market unexpectedly recovers, Congress might delay action. But if things go the other way, these bills could move very quickly. We are walking a tightrope between relief and recession, and lawmakers know that doing nothing could be far more politically dangerous than offering targeted support to the people who feel the pain first. I know it can be frustrating. I know it's exhausting to hear about what might happen and still have to wait. But here's what I want you to take away from this: real legislation is being prepared. Not a rumor, not a scam, not a viral social media post. Real proposals with real dollar amounts tied to real triggers. And they're aimed at the people who need help the most. And here's something else that's starting to come into focus. The next few weeks may reveal whether this isn't just about one time relief or tax breaks, but something much bigger. Some insiders are now floating the idea that one of the reconciliation drafts could include a new inflation based rebate, pegged to changes in household essentials like food and utilities, rather than broad CPI. If that happens, beneficiaries on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and veterans benefits may get tiered payments, with larger amounts going to those with fixed incomes or disability related expenses. The draft language is still under wraps, but the intention is clear: target those most vulnerable. If a trigger like job loss rates or a third straight inflation spike activates these provisions, it won't just be one check. It could mean monthly rebates, phased in during late fall and into early spring. That's where this is heading, quietly but quickly. So if you're one of those people